Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. And no, do not adjust your sets, your eyes are not deceiving you. This is another light tank replay. I don't know what it is about light tank replays lately, but I've been getting an awful lot of them and they've all been very, very good. And not all of them have been starring Aurorik 78. Aurorik, I don't know what you're up to, but you've got some catching up to do. Anyway, this is Rice in the British Tier 10 light tank, the Manticore. This is actually Rice's very first game in the Manticore. He thought, I'll really like the look of that Halloween 3D style for it, so I'm having this tank, and this is him playing it for the very, very first time. Battle starts, he rushes off to claim a bush, and I am immediately reminded of the legendary Monty Python How Not to Be Seen sketch. This is Mr. Nesbit of Harlow, Newtown. Mr. Nesbit, would you stand up, please? Mr. Nesbit has learned the value of not being seen, however he has chosen a very obvious piece of cover. Yep, wasn't spotted, got hit anyway. The thing about Malinovka is it's not like Prokhorovka, which is where we usually see these battles where light tanks rack up astronomical spotting scores. On Prokhorovka, as we've seen in multiple previous videos, there is one very, very good bush from which to spot, but it is incredibly obvious. Here on Malinovka, things tend to be a lot more dynamic. There are any number of different locations where you can, if you're fast enough and sneaky enough, rush to and get some early spotting damage in. None of which Rice has managed to do so far. I mean, he did light up half the enemy team as they moved up the hill, but nobody shot at them. And he was, well, kind of unlucky and kind of very, very lucky at the same time, getting hit by the Panzer VII without being spotted, because that bush, I mean, it's not as obvious as the bush on Prokhorovka, but at the beginning of the battle, it kind of is. Still, at the same time, he didn't actually take any damage from it, so it could have been a lot worse. Would have been nice if his team had managed to damage, well, literally anything that he'd spotted while he was in that bush. So it could have been a lot better. And the enemy team have claimed the first kill, knocking out the Centurion action 10. And there's the enemy Manticore, and it is getting hit. Unfortunately, it's not going to get hit enough. Now, the friendly Bat Chat, you can see him on the map over there. There he is. He's being extremely brave. The thing is, you can also get a lot of spot damage in a fast medium, particularly if you go to the location where the Bat Chat has gone to, although he obviously got seen spotting over there. I think he also took some damage diving off the cliff to avoid getting hit any further, but he is in a very, very good spot. Rice occupying this bush again, although it's kind of redundant, although maybe not, because it looks like the Bat Chat's managed to spot an Object 268. An Object 268 who's given a nice clean flanking shot to, well, pretty much everybody else on the team down here. And so, of course, pretty much everybody else on the team down here doesn't bother shooting at him. Still no spotting damage for Rice, because he's not the one spotting the object. And of course, you know, nobody's shooting at it. Although, it's likely that Rice is the one who's actually keeping him spotted after the Bat Chat's initial detection. And now people are shooting at him, but they're all shooting at it from the front, where its armour is the thickest. Those are the guys on the northern end of the map shooting at the object. None of the guys over here in the tank destroyers are bothering. You know, the ones that have flanking shots on it can actually... Oh, okay, looks like somebody did wake up. Rice is really tempted to get a shot off here, but he absolutely shouldn't. It looks like the object's going around for the Bat Chat. Oh, and he could one-shot him. Oh, the Bat Chat's got him. Okay, good stuff. Keen to see how much spot and damage the Bat Chat gets as a result of that very, very ballsy position over there. But looking at the 2,500 spot and damage, well, slightly more than 2,000 spot and damage that Rice has just accumulated, I think the Bat Chat's going to be very disappointed, because it looks like he was, in fact, keeping the object illuminated after the Bat Chat got the initial spot off. So there's finally some spot and damage for Rice. There's clearly no further benefit to be gained from sitting in that bush. Certainly not now that the enemy team have dispersed from their deployment spot. Oh, the Bat Chat's down. Ah well. No good deed goes unpunished. But Rice is here to take over the position. Oh, and he's gotten spotted. Oh, no. Here it comes. Run, Rice. Run for your life. Okay, he's managed to get into cover. Now, this is a much, much more dangerous spotting position. Oh, hello. Looks like the TVP had the same idea. And you're going to see exactly how much more dangerous a spotting position this is if you're not the only one occupying it. Because when the TVP gets spotted, and he does, yep, there's a 420 potential damage shot from a leopard over in the middle of the field that was intended for the TVP, and if Rice hadn't caught it, would have probably killed him. Rice did not get spotted. That was people shooting at the TVP when the TVP got spotted. Rice just happened to be lucky enough to be in the way. Oh, and there's the Manticore again. Will somebody please kill that little bugger? I mean, Rice is tempted here, but you do not want to get spotted in this position. I mean, you saw what happened to the Batchat and the TVP when they got spotted in this position, and unfortunately, once again, the Manticore gets away. However, with the Manticore being chased out of this spot, that leaves Rice free to move forward. And there's the leopard that accidentally hit him when it was trying to kill the TVP. And he's racking up even more spotting damage. And it's all at the expense of that really unfortunate leopard. He's now up to more than 4,000. He hasn't done a single point of damage of his own, of course. The Panzer 7, who was very unlucky to not take half of his health off when he was hiding in that bush at the beginning, is over there. The good thing about the Manticore when it comes to active scouting like this is it is an extremely low profile machine. So you do not require a huge amount of low ground, oh that one was close, in order to break line of sight with this thing after you've popped up and eyeballed a whole bunch of enemy tanks. I was kind of, I mean, you know, it's the first time he's fired the gun in this game and he didn't actually do any damage, but this is fine because now he's up to more than 6,000, actually a lot more than 6,000 spotting damage. And unlike the enemy Manticore, he's managed to do it without not without getting hit, he's been hit, he just didn't take any damage from it, his tracks absorbed it, and then also was very lucky to bounce a shot from the leopard. But he hasn't actually taken any damage. Oh, he's gotten spotted. Again, you know, very, very sneaky, low profile and fast tank. Doesn't have to get into much low ground in order to break line of sight. I think he's possibly feeling a bit brave now and starting to get into the swing of things. Don't forget, this is the first time he's ever played this tank. He's actually scored some damage. Got him spotted though, but once again, this thing can break line of sight very quickly and very easily. 8,272 spotting damage, and he's not done yet, not by a long shot. There's the Panzer 7. Ooh, somebody saw him. Yep, shot just whizzed over the top of the tank there. Rice is kind of getting the rhythm of things here, though. He's not stopping for anybody. He's looking for the artillery. There it is. Oof, shotgunned. There goes a third of his health, but it didn't kill him, and more importantly, it didn't stop him. Keeps going. Artillery's down. Took a hit from the Panzer 7 over there that did actually cause some damage. Panzer 7 is out, taking cover behind the wreck of whatever that is. The biggest problem here, of course, it's not the enemy Guerrilla 15 who can one-shot him. It's the enemy Manticore. Oh, and somebody just took a shot at the wreck he was hiding behind. There's the Guerrilla 15, and there's Rice's first kill. The Guerrilla 15 was heading the other way, however, which means it was the enemy Manticore who was taking a shot around the wreck of that knocked out enemy tank, and it's the enemy Manticore who knows that Rice is down here. And Rice is a one-shot kill, although the enemy Manticore might be a one-shot kill too, and both of them have their guns loaded and ready to go and are looking for each other. But it's Rice who gets spotted first and does not survive the encounter. However, as far as Rice is concerned, this is kind of working as intended because the enemy Manticore is also not going to survive the encounter, and because Rice is the one who spotted him, and dead tanks continue to spot targets for a few seconds after they die, Rice ends up with more than 10,000 spotting damage done. In what, let me remind you, was Rice's first ever game played in the Manticore. And it was only good enough, and this is a mark of just how good a scout the Manticore is, but that astronomical spotting score of more than 10,000 was only good enough for a first-class mastery badge in this tank. But it was still at least enough to quite comfortably put Rice at the top of the team on experience earned with 1,131 base experience. But what about that poor old Batchat? That's him sitting there, 5th from the bottom. What the hell happened there? Because it seemed like he was doing well. Closer examination reveals the source of the problem. The Batchat only got 1100 spot and damage. It turns out that the Batchat was taking all of the risk, and Rice was taking all of the reward. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate for the Batchat. I feel like he did kind of get a bit robbed there and should have done better, because it kind of was his initial spotting. But he didn't keep them spotted. He would spot those enemy tanks as they crested the ridge in front of him, and then they would back off, go undetected, and Rice would redetect them from the side. So, well, it is what it is. Batchat's loss was Rice's gain, in what, let me remind you, was his very first game ever played in the Manticore. 10,000 spot and damage. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.